Welcome. My name is Doug Simcox, and this is Beyond the Chutes, where we discuss New York Rodeo, the people and the places they take us. Mike Swearingen is an all-around cowboy from Dundee, New York. After graduation from high school in 1974, he took to the rodeo trail. He traveled all across North America and made his living riding professional rodeo. He worked 4 events in the rodeo arena: bareback broncs, saddle broncs, steer wrestling, and bull riding. In episode 7, Mike told us the story of the time he rode Buffalo Bill, the bounty bull, for the $1,000 bounty in Utica, New York in 1990. If you haven't heard the story, please find it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and remember to click to follow. After we recorded the bounty bull story, Mike started telling the story of another adventure in Canada. Luckily, I started the recorder and was able to capture it. In this episode, we learn the story of Mike's adventures with another wild cross. I hope that you enjoy.
There was a contractor, World's Toughest Rodeo, and had come up to Canada at Toronto, and they put a rodeo on up in Toronto. And they had hired a contractor out of the Western Canada, out of Alberta, to bring some bulls and stuff. And he had 3 Yak-crosses. Yak-crosses.
Yak, okay.
And when all this blew over, we made rules that you can't have a wild animal crossed with a domestic.
Really? Okay.
I don't know exactly, but them yaks, the 3 yaks there were 2 black ones that were brothers, and then there was a blonde one, and the blonde one was a nice one to ride. Mm-hmm. But their backbone was unbelievable. Really? The buffalo was nothing compared to what the yaks were.
Really? Okay.
And
Okay. Yeah.
I drew the bad son of a gun up there in Toronto in the short go. And
okay.
But anyway.
And I'm recording, by the way. Were they dangerous after you got off? Were they dangerous? Would they try to hook you?
Extremely.
Really?
Extremely dangerous. The blind
and had horns?
Yeah, they had horns, about like a longhorn.
Really?
The 2 black bulls, X and double X, were the brands on them. I remember them 2. The blonde one was just it was a nice bull. If you could keep your hand in the rope and stuff, he'd just jump out there and turn back, and you could win money on him. The other one of the X bull was just a step ranker and kind of the same way, but he was a lot of belly roll to him. But that double X bull he should have been outlawed. He was bad.
Yeah.
He was, if you got him rode for like 3 or 4 seconds, and I've seen him do it. They had him at Calgary one year. That's where I first seen him.
Calgary?
At Calgary. And
wow.
At the North American competition up there.
Okay.
But anyway, if you got by his first 3 or 4 rounds, he would literally rear in the air and flip upside down and fall down on you. When he had gotten the ground, he would be on his feet, and he'd hook the living daylights out of him.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, he was bad. And that was when I drew up in Toronto for the short round.
Yeah.
And,
could you, if you rode him, could you score? I mean, was there, okay.
Oh, yeah. But he wouldn't never stay on his feet.
Oh, okay.
It was just, now the other black one would.
Okay.
But I see him do it. Every time he'd went out and somebody got started on him, good. I seen 2 or 3 guys really start him good. Well, I see him in the long round up there in Toronto. We did it. And he'd just make 3 or 4 and fast. I never see a bull sprint that fast in my life. And even ever since. And he'd make 16, 18 rounds in 8 seconds, just like nothing. But
really?
he would just, if you got by the first few, he was going down. He was going to take you with him, and then he was.
I mean, go down to where he's like laying on your legs and such?
Oh, yeah.
Down?
Oh, yeah. He'd throw himself right on the ground.
Okay.
He'd go down hard. And then when you hit the ground, you were trying to get back up. Well, he was already on his feet. And like I said, bullfighters, they didn't have a chance to get him off you.
Oh my
He'd
goodness.
just camp on you until he got tired and then leave.
Okay. So the yaks.
Yep.
The yaks in Canada. And they come into the States? Did you ever see them in any of the
No,
US road? No,
no,
no.
no. I never see him down here. It's just up there. And
Okay.
like I said, I seen him up there at Calgary, and then back here when they hauled him back here in the east. And
Okay. Excellent.
that's when we had to put the rule in, and we wound up making it to where any bucking animal, it couldn't be crossed with any wild cross of any sort. It had to be domestic, because then the way it was starting to go, I could just see some of these contractors going and getting mules, and crossing them up, or zebras or some stupid thing,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so we wrote the rules so that couldn't happen, and then
Okay.
that fixed that.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Yaks in professional rodeo. Never heard of it. That's pretty interesting. And you rode them. You got on them. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But never got caught. They never hooked you. They never come close. You was able to get up and away.
Well, it's the only time in my whole rodeo career that I ever actually bailed out during the middle of a ride, because it was
Really?
happening. I've got a picture of him reared straight in the air, and his head and body are turned at a well, if I was sitting in the middle of him to start with, he had turned, and I was sitting on his side with my hand still in the rope, and he was headed to the
Oh,
ground.
jeez.
And
You
then
said the ground.
I opened my hand and stepped out the back, because the mud was about right up to his
Mm.
knees. And once you
Okay.
hit the ground, you're
Okay.
stuck in the mud. So I just opened my hand, slid out the back, and it got to the chute gates, and he went down. He went down. When he got back up, I couldn't believe how fast that bull could get back to his feet after he hit the ground sideways. But
Yeah.
he did. And had just gotten up on the chutes when he hit them right below me. So,
Wow. Live to fight another day.
yes, sir. That was one of the only smart things I think maybe I did. I don't know.
Oh my. What an interesting story. I'd never heard that story before. That's excellent. That is absolutely excellent. Imagine drawing a yak crossbred at a professional rodeo. Imagine riding the yak crossbred with the knowledge that he'll probably throw himself after a few seconds once he realizes that you can ride him. This is one of the adventures that Mike had during his rodeo career. Professional rodeo has changed its rules because of these types of wild crosses. Mike was instrumental in helping to put in the rules that even the playing field, giving each bull rider an equal opportunity to compete, and more importantly, help keep both the bull rider and the bull safe. I recently saw that Mike posted a picture of the time he did some downhill skiing in Colorado on the New York State Rodeo Museum Facebook page. I think I need to get him on the phone and capture the story. I hope that you enjoy these stories. If you do, please share them with your friends. To make your listening easier, you can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Search for Beyond the Chutes and follow us. Reminder, check out the New York State Rodeo Museum Facebook group page and become a member. If you have any pictures that go along with these stories, please post them in the comments below the podcast postings. Help Betty Johnson capture and catalog these great New York State rodeo memories. This is Beyond the Chutes. Until next time, thank you for listening.